Today we're in Onslaught. Oh my god, nigga. Today we're in Onslaught showcase this build. I did do this build in negative 50 last week, but I did forget. I ain't gonna lie. I forgot to record this build for you guys and show it to you guys last week. But we're here. And this build is basically me showing y'all how much we can just get infinite supers from this build. As y'all can see, shot my tether. And yeah, we're gonna have our super before this tether go away. We're gonna have our super. And our super is back, okay? I would have showcased this build in today's the new negative 50 Grandmaster, but it's not as ad dense. So it would take recording way longer, and I'll be honest with you guys, I ain't feel like making recording that long. So I just showcased y'all the build there so y'all can see what's going on. Now let me show y'all the build itself. What up, guys? Alchemist, and I got something nice for you. So today we are using Orpheus Rig as our exotic choice. Okay, if you don't know, Orpheus Rig says we get ability energy for each target that's tethered by the deadfall anchor, giving us super energy and abilities to our melee grenade class ability. And if you use Mobius Quiver, you get another shot, but we're not using Mobius Quiver for this build. We're using deadfall. So as y'all see, with this exotic, when you use the tether, you'll get 50% of your super back from tethering enough enemies, okay? But I wanted to utilize the artifact to make it that we'll get another tether back before the tether we just shot out goes away, okay? So the exotic we're using for this build to help with that is Wavesplitter. Wavesplitter is one of my favorite exotics in the game since D2 had dropped, and it never got much love, even though it was such a cool exotic. It works off of wavelength frequencies, and I love that ish. And it got the catalyst. So if y'all wonder why didn't I record in negative 50 last week for this build, it's because I didn't have the catalyst for this gun yet. And I wanted to show the full form of this gun, of this build with the catalyst. And I got lucky and got the catalyst recently. And the catalyst make it that it get attrition orb, so this dealing sustained damage give it an orb, and it get detonator beam. When I do sustained damage, I get explosions, meaning more damage DPS for this build. If you don't know, the exotic perk for this weapon, it says collecting an orb power, which attrition orb ties into that. You get the maximum power that starts with automatic reload, okay? So picking the orb power reloads the weapon, and it make it do more damage, and sustain fire if this weapon suppresses targets. And if you don't know, suppressing targets in this game blinds them. So as long as you're doing sustained damage to an enemy, you will blind them, they won't fight back. If you don't pick up orb power, this weapon has like 3 different DPS for it. You got level 1, level 2, and level 3. But it's RNG on when the laser decides to do level 1, level 2, or level 3 damage. So you want to always have an orb power to activate the supercharged battery so that it always on level 3 to do the most damage that it can do. Your heavy can be whatever you want. And of course, we use the Festival Flight because, come on, it's meta. Obviously, it's meta. So we're using it with Slice and Attrition Orb to pour more into the Orb Fantasy for Wavesplitter to do more damage, okay? The stats you want to go for, you want to go for 170 in this build. When using double special, you want to go for 200 weapon stat. We're rocking 170 on purpose because we got a fragment that's going to make it get to 200. And then you want to go for 100 class stat and 100 super stat. So you can spam that for your gameplay loop for survivability and whatnot. Artifact. We're running Elemental Supercharger. This allowed that defeating exhausted or severed targets with a weapon that matches your super element grants super energy. We're severing with the Festival Flight and the Threatenings in this build. So the enemy's gonna be severed when we spray Festival Flight with Slice on it, and then we can kill them with Wavesplitter and get super energy. But also too, Wavesplitter is an overload weapon. Overload weapons automatically exhaust enemies when you shoot them with it. Right now, there's a bug in the game where exhaust is very inconsistent with overload weapons. But even though the exhaust is inconsistent, the triggering of exhaust is still happening. So even though we're not getting the 10% debuff on enemies to make them do less damage to us, the enemies are still treated as being exhausted when they get killed. So it still works with that artifact perk to give us a chunk of super energy, okay? I didn't explain that in my other videos because that's just a mouthful to explain. If you're watching the TWABs and stuff, then you know, you should already know about the bugs and whatnot. But I just wanted to explain it here in case someone didn't know. We have To the Shreds on, obviously, so we make them Wolven Mill hotspots out there for us. So we have Wolven Mill in this build with Void Overshield. We have Horror Shuttle for the Threatlings to do Sever as well while we unravel them and whatnot. We got Harsh Refraction on, just making that we do more damage to enemies that are debuffed by a status condition. I'm saying status condition like Pokemon. If they got a debuff on them that matches the element that I'm using. So for Void, if an enemy got volatile in their body or they're suppressed or they're weakened, I'll do more damage to them with a Void Trace Rifle. And since Wavesplitter does suppression on its own, it automatically get a buff from Harsh Refraction automatically. But we do have Malign Harvest on that allows us to do volatile, you know, volatile weapon enough. We do weakening, yada yada yada. And then we also have Volatile Marksman to give us volatile for this weapon, volatile rounds, in tandem with each other. So Wavesplitter gonna be doing volatile, suppression, and weakening all at once. And they're gonna get the damage buff from Harsh Refraction. And it already does dumb damage already with itself as an exotic weapon. And they got Detonator Beam and stuff now. Just amazing. And then we have Elemental Siphon so that we can make Void Breaches while we kill enemies with a Void weapon. And then picking up the Void Breaches give us a chunk of super energy as well. If you're wondering, do you need the Catalyst for Wavesplitter for this build? You do not. Wavesplitter is still strong without its Catalyst. It's just even stronger with the Detonator Beam. But you can definitely run this build without without the Catalyst, okay? Now, subclass. Rocking Deadfall Tether, obviously. We're rocking Marksman Dodge. So whenever we use our class ability, we'll pick up all the ammo boxes around us and reload all our weapons, making it easier for us to do the gameplay loop of shooting Festival Flight, but also too picking up all the special ammo around us for our weapons, so we don't have to worry about running and picking them up. So we always have the ammo on us to shoot Wavesplitter 24/7. We got Phantom Surge on, so I can just dash through somebody's body and get a Void Overshield whenever I want. We have Void Wall on. Grenades up to you. I just love Void Wall. We have Trapper Ambush so that I can slam on the ground, hit enemies to get health, and if I kill enemies, I get Devour with it. And I also have Vanishing Step on to make it that my Trapper Ambush cause invisibility whenever I use it, and to do a Smoke Bomb Slam on the ground. And because of the artifact, I can get a Void Overshield whoever I weaken with this. But also too, they're blind when I smoke them. And it applies weaken for Wavesplitter to do even more damage to them, 15% more damage to them, on top of the Harsh Refraction from the artifact. Then our fragments, we have Echo Reprisal or Reprisal, and Final Blows when surrounded by combatants grant super energy. So when you're near 3 enemies within 15 meters, you'll get more super energy. So you kind of want to shoot your tether and then purposely get close to the people that are tethered and then kill them so you get bonus super energy. We have on Echo of Domineering. This is a perfect combo fragment with Wavesplitter because it says after suppressing a target, you gain increased weapon stat. This is why we have 170 weapon stat. This gives us plus 30 weapon stat. So this is always going to make it that we have 200 weapon stat, and we're going to be proccing this 24/7 because Wavesplitter suppress people. And it says your equipped weapon is reloaded from reserves. So literally I can shoot indefinitely with Wavesplitter with this fragment because Wavesplitter does suppression. So if I shoot this Knight long enough, it should suppress him and the weapon will reload on its own. As you just seen. So as y'all see, it's reloading on its own without me doing anything. I'm just holding the trigger and it's reloading, okay? So yeah, it's a combo fragment, okay? Just make sure you do have Supercharger, the perk that y'all see in the bottom left for Wavesplitter. Make sure y'all have that activated. So basically pick up an Overpower. Supercharge stay on for like 20 seconds if you pick up 2 Overpower. So yeah, very easy to upkeep. Then we have on Echo Starvation. So whenever I pick up a Void Breach or Overpower, I get Devour. Because I'm rocking 0 HP in this build, I'm purposely using this fragment. So when I pick up Overpower, I get 70 HP. Because technically I should get 0 HP from picking up Overpower because I have 0 HP stat. So this allows me to get 70 HP from picking up just Overpower for survivability. And then we have an Echo Persistent to make Invis, Overshield, and Devour stay on even longer. Okay. The armor mods for rocking is 2 special armor finders. Obviously, because we're rocking 2 special weapons in this build. 1 harmonic siphon, so that Wavesplitter make Overpower for us. We have on 1 grenade kickstart because we are using the Exodus down armor set, so I need some way to spend my 3 armor charges to get that 30% damage reduction to have on forever in this build, right? Then we have on a melee font to make my melee stat go up more so that I can spend my melee for a void over shield if I ever need it. And we got momentum transfer on, so when I do grenade damage, it make my melee cooldown, faster. We have 3 resist mods and chest piece. We got 2 void weapon surges to make my Wavesplitter do 17% more damage. And I'll be throwing these damage numbers on the screen with Wavesplitter to show y'all like how many damage buffs we're doing for Wavesplitter. And then we have on Harmonic Scavenger to make that we get more ammo for Wavesplitter whenever we pick up a special ammo brick off the ground. For attraction, pick up orbs around us for Wavesplitter whenever we use a class ability. Reapers, when the class ability kill somebody, make an orb. And then we got a class final on just to add plus 20 to it, so I get a void over shield whenever well, not a void over shield, but I get an over shield whenever I use my class ability while your armor charges on me. That's the full build, guys. I enjoy using this build for my team. I literally just kept tethering nonstop in every room we got into. Like, I always had a tether on me, so I was like the perfect ad control demon. Okay. This build falls short a little bit when it comes to like boss DPS. Wavesplitter does do great damage when you have all the stuff doing extra damage for it. It does do great damage to kill champions and stuff quick, but like if a boss shows up and then you over here spraying this all day, you're gonna run out of ammo eventually. So this is definitely an ad clear type of build. It is not a build for like, oh, I'm using this to destroy bosses. That's not what it's for. So make sure you choose your heavy wisely for what you want to use for DPS. A machine gun or a crossbow or something. Something that can keep getting your ammo back and you can really deal some damage to like bosses and whatnot. Anyway, love you guys. Appreciate you guys as always. And until next time, stay up.